Hello guys, buenos dias, buenas tardes, or buenas noches. Welcome to a new Spanish 101 exciting video. Today, our topic is very simple but also very useful. We're going to study el vocabulario de la casa, vocabulary of the house. Basically, I'm just going to give you a very short and useful list of words in Spanish for talking about the rooms of the house. Of course, many of us don't have one of these. We live in tiny apartments in New York City, but nonetheless, they are useful for many situations. Okay? So I'm going to pronounce these for you. But before I do so, please notice that in this vocab list, each of the words is preceded by a short word that, if you recall one of our early videos, is known as the definite article, right? This is different from our first vocabulary list because in our first vocabulary list we only had the word, we did not have the article, right? In case that you don't recall, I will tell you again why this is so. This is the best way to learn words in Spanish. You don't only learn the word, you also learn the definite article that comes with it. Why? Because that way you are learning the gender along with the meaning. For example, our first word is la casa, which means the house. You're supposed to learn it like that, la casa. Of course, la is the definite article for a feminine singular noun, meaning for something that is feminine in gender and of which you have only one, right? So if you learn it with the article, just like that, la casa, instead of casa, you will always know that it's feminine. From now on, every time that I give you new vocabulary, every time that I give you new nouns to learn, I will give them to you along with their article. Okay? Good. Also, notice that many of these follow the basic rule of genders that we studied. Ends in O masculine, ends in A feminine, but we're already encountering some exceptions, right? So I'm going to pronounce these for you. La casa, la casa. I hope you're pronouncing with me. That's the house. We also many times use this word in general to mean a home. Like, for example, my family, we don't live in a house. We live in a small apartment in Harlem, but nonetheless, we say things like vamos para casa. Let's go to the house. Let's go home, right? So this is also used to mean just home, the place where you live. Okay? La casa. La sala. La sala. That's the living room, right? We have a few sofas in there, a TV. This is a very posh house, right? La sala. La cocina. La cocina. That's the kitchen. El dormitorio. El dormitorio. That's the bedroom, right? We have a little bed in there. This is like the more standard way of saying bedroom, dormitorio. We also have many others depending on where you're from. You might say el cuarto, la pieza, and many others, right? But dormitorio is a word that all Spanish speakers will understand. El dormitorio. El comedor. El comedor. That is The room for eating, I guess. How do you say that in English? My English is betraying me right now. El baño. El baño. That's the bathroom. El estudio. El estudio. That's basically a study room or a home office. Some people have big houses and they have a room where they have a desk, a computer, maybe some books, right? A room separate for study. That's el estudio. El jardín. El jardín. That's the garden. You can also say el patio. El patio. Patio means something like yard, right? We can use it. You can use patio for a backyard, also for an inner court, and like buildings that have one of those. Patio is like a yard. Jardín is more specific. It's a garden, right? It's a place with green and trees and so on and so forth. El balcón. El balcón. That's a balcony. El garaje. El garaje. That's the garage, right? Some people do say el garage. That's not entirely correct, but it's fine if they understand you. I also know that in Spain, for example, they call it la cochera. But garaje is what we would say in Latin America. Okay. La piscina. La piscina. That's the pool. This one's useful for practicing that SC, which sounds like, right, with basically like a double S with a little pause. La piscina. El sótano. El sótano. Listen to the accent in that first O, right? El sótano. That is the basement. Many people say el basement, right? That's okay as long as they understand you, right? But the more Spanish word would be el sótano. El ático. El ático. Clearly that's the attic. La escalera. La escalera. That's the stairs, right? You can say la escalera. You can also say las escaleras, right? And then el corredor. Let's roll these R's on this one, guys. El corredor. El corredor is the corridor. Some people also say el pasillo, but I would say corredor is more common. El corredor. Okay? That is our basic vocabulary for the house. Muchas gracias. Hasta luego.